Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben, and my mission is to empower you to find financial freedom in crypto assets. If that sounds good, hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure to hit that bell for notifications. YouTube hiding our videos more than ever. If you guys want to check out BitLab Academy, you do that too down below. You guys can see if you want to go deeper into crypto. Guys, football is over in my household. Well, we're still going to the Super Bowl next month, but football is over. Georgia, we got our victory lane. I got this shirt at the game, after the game. So exciting. I've always wanted to do that. When the Braves won the World Series, I was there in Houston, but they didn't do it because it was on the road. I got to get the actual victory shirt. Hey, did you see this thing, TJ, where they had one of the players they gave one of the players the wrong hat? It said Alabama champs on it.
I didn't see that. That's
yeah. It was, I think it was Kobe Dean. Is one of our best players. I'm pretty sure it was him. He had the wrong hat on. So, but once again, congratulations, Georgia. But we are back home. We are in the building. We are ready, and Bitcoin is playing nice with us today, and that's absolutely fantastic. We're going to be doing a giveaway today. We're going to be giving away a Players Lounge DGD NFT. So excited to do that here in a few minutes. We do have some housekeeping stuff before we get started. Also, guys, here we go. Pinned announcement here. You guys make sure you go check this out. We are doing our Texas meet and greet. We had talked about this for a few months. We are ready to do it. We're going to do it in Austin. I know people in Houston may not be super thrilled about that, but we decided to do it in Austin because we wanted people from Austin, Dallas, and Houston to be able to come, and Austin is central to those locations. San Antonio as well. It's very close there. So if you live in Texas, you want to come hang out, we usually I do a little talk. We'll do a big Q&A session. If you want to do pictures or whatever, or you want to talk to me for just a couple seconds, we'll have a line to be able to do that. We love these events. They always do really well. We have more at every single one. And we're always excited to get out and meet the BitSquad community. You guys are the largest and greatest community in all the interwebs. So you guys don't forget, make sure if you're going to come, it's free, 100% free. We don't sell you anything there. We may have some merch possibly, but outside of that, you know, it's just coming and hanging out. But make sure you fill out the Eventbrite. So click on the Eventbrite. If you're in Texas and you're going to be at the event, you'll get tickets. Like I said, it's absolutely free, but this helps us to be able to keep in mind how many people are coming. That's very important as we, get preparations for that. So make sure to do that. All right, let's go ahead and do this giveaway real quick. We did this giveaway for the DGD NFTs. It was really cool getting to watch the game with Aaron Murray. He was in the suite with us. And I tell you what was really interesting is when you're watching a football game with an actual quarterback, you get different kinds of, insight into what's happening. I was complaining about a bunch of calls, and he was telling me why I was wrong. So that was pretty fun, too. But love Aaron. He's a great guy. So to celebrate the live drop from the other day, we're giving away Players Lounge NFT to one winner. So basically, here were the qualifications. You had to like and retweet this post and follow the Players Lounge. So we got it all set up. All we got to do right now is draw the winner. So we're going to go to step 3, draw here. And here we go. We're going to begin the draw. All right. And here it is. Ronan the Collector. Ronan the Collector here. You are the winner. He's already got one. He's going to be getting a second one. So we are going to, I'm going to make sure I follow him so he can send us a DM. He already follows me. So that's perfect. So we will get that going in the DMs. We will get him his NFT. So that is pretty cool. I can't wait to do that. And we're actually going to open one of these. We've got a few on here. We're going to show you guys what it looks like when you open one of these. They're all sold out. 50% of this money goes to support the players at the University of Georgia, which is absolutely phenomenal. And we've got a big vision for where this is going to be going. We're going to be working a little bit closer with them as time goes. So here you go. This is one we just opened, DGD 01842, and there's music that goes along with it too. You guys can't hear. But that is pretty cool. So let me mute that so I don't hear that the whole entire stream. Nah, it's fine.
It's not that cool.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the show started here. Coming in, checking out the quarterback throws it, someone catches it. Pretty simple, basic. Yeah, that's very advanced. We are back over 2 trillion in market cap, and that feels good. The volume up a little bit, $94 billion. Bitcoin dominance below 40%. Now let's see if this works today. Because the last time it was under 40%, Bitcoin dominance chart was not working. Let's see. That would be fishy if it's not. Okay, it is working. So it is working now. So very interesting stuff. 80 Paraguay since the ETH transaction. ETH dominance 19.3%. Not too bad. Bitcoin up $43,591, up 2.45%. On my portfolio, I don't actually see Bitcoin movement a lot. Like in terms of, they send me alerts through my CoinStats, which if you guys want to get access to CoinStats, you go to bitboycrypto.com/deals. We do have a CoinStats tab for you right there. We need to get this off here. We did get 7th place in the contest. Pretty good. We don't need that anymore. But if you want to get access to CoinStats, it's real cheap, and that's what we use for our portfolio. But they always send me, for whatever reason, they send me the updated price of wrapped Bitcoin. So it's like wrapped Bitcoin up 3%. Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's good. If you don't know, wrapped Bitcoin is the Ethereum version of Bitcoin. It's always the same price. So Solana coming in number 5, up 8.37% with a pretty big move here. Binance Coin getting below 500. I tell you, when it comes to Binance Coin, I always feel like it's good above $500, and below $500, it feels very bearish. You know, like that's a kind of the Mendoza line, if you will, for me with Binance Coin, where I'm like, if Binance Coin's over 500 and it's marching back up towards 6, I feel like things are going really bullish. Whenever it's below 500, it just feels like we're in the doldrums. That for some reason, that's a price that I look at and think about a lot. Ethereum 33.64, Cardano $1.30 basically. XRP holding tough at 79 cents, up 4% today. Terra Luna up 7.5% today. Not a lot of really big movers. Why did that do that? Wow, it's showing all of the top coins. We don't want that. We only want the top 100. Yeah, so I don't know why it's doing that.
It's glitching out, it looks like.
Yeah, once again, CoinMarketCap glitching out. So definitely not good. So I guess it's going to do that when we do the 24-hour winners too. Yep. Yeah. If you're into Fest Chain, let me tell you, with that market cap of $1,182, you are a zillionaire, you know, so Pumpeth. Look at the name of some of these coins. I tell you what.
Anyways, maybe just check CoinGecko today.
Yeah, we'll go to CoinGecko. CoinGecko. Let's see here. All categories.
They changed a lot of stuff too on that mobile app, at least.
Category used. I just want to make sure, because I think, let's see, do we have top 100 on here? We do. They got some coins on the top 100 that may not be legit, so you got to be more careful here. But Fantom, never heard of Frac Share. Fantom 17.2%. Ecomi up 16.6%, pretty good. Shiba making a move, 12.9%. Convex Finance, Radix, Harmony, Gala. Is it Gala or Gala?
Depends on where you are.
I say Gala because I'm American. Apparently, if you're British, you say Gala, but I think they go by Gala technically. But yeah. I'm American, so I don't know what to do. Cello up, Nexo, Olympus DAO up, Sandbox up, Loopring up, Wonderland up. So all stuff in our portfolio, a lot of good stuff in our portfolio is up today. So that is good to see. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. There was something else I was going to bring up, but I forgot what it was. Maybe it was a tweet. Or like having Richard Hart on the other night. Or we had some technical difficulties on that show.
Yeah, it went down twice, supposedly.
Yeah. Hate to miss that one. I'm sure that would have been a fun one to be on. So somebody said Solana is ripping. Yeah, Solana is making big moves. Man, there was something I wanted to say though. I can't remember what it was about a certain coin. I can't remember. All right, let's go and move on. Let's go move on to AMA here.
All right, Q&A. So we got a couple questions here.
It's because Twitch is back up.
Yeah, the basement. That was the first thing. Basement is restored and BTC goes up. Coincidence? Matt said.
So here's what they told us. Because whenever we have anything that goes down, all the haters are like, oh, it went down because everybody hates their channel. And, he's a terrible person. He's the devil, and all this stuff. So, no, what they said was, for some reason, their algorithm on Twitch had flagged our entire channel as a bot account. How that makes sense? I have no idea. We use no bots, never use bots on this channel. But they had our entire account flagged as a bot account. So they said it was a total mistake and they were sorry and they gave us a channel back immediately. So thank you, Twitch, for, helping support channel by giving it back.
Yeah. It's another question here. Somebody who's sitting on a lot of Cardano. They asked potentially what your thoughts are on trading some ADA for Matic on Celsius, because Matic has a double reward for holding it on Celsius. What do you think about passive gains for projects and kind of take an approach like that?
Okay, hold on. I'm so confused for this. trade some ADA for Matic on Celsius, double the percentage reward. So they're basically saying that Matic is getting twice the rewards as ADA
on Celsius.
Is that a strategy people use where they just constantly trade what's getting back the highest return on Celsius?
Maybe not constantly, but if they're sitting on a big bag of ADA and they're getting returns on it, they're just saying maybe I should move it into Matic. And there's a lot of variables there, obviously, but I mean that's something we do in pieces, not necessarily like going after the top ones.
Yeah.
But if we notice, they're paying better on USDT on Gemini or USDC on Gemini versus Celsius, obviously that's where we'll put things. But it's kind of up to you.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you think is going to be good. I mean, at this point, Cardano has been stagnant for so long. Matic has been moving. I mean, it doesn't sound like a terrible move, but a lot of people will find when you finally do pull that trigger and make that move, that's when it'll go up. Right.
Yeah.
That's where the memes come from. Do want to mention also real quick, guys, don't forget if you are on YouTube, a couple of things. Number one, make sure to check out all these other channels that we have. We're actually starting a trading channel here soon. Frank, who's going to be running the trading channel, will be coming on here live for the charts. But guys, we got Hit Network, New Money Gang, NFT Update, Hit Music, and we also have this BitBoy Bits channel where we're showing little segments of the live stream. So make sure to follow that. But I did see somebody ask about Piano Matty B. We do want to continue to encourage you guys. If you miss Piano Matty B, head on over to his personal YouTube channel. Look, he's already got 5,000 subscribers almost. I think he only had 200 or 300. So a lot of you guys, if you still want the morning TA, make sure to head on over. We're just going a different direction with the trading channel. So we still love Matty B, and we encourage you guys to go subscribe to his channel. He's doing really well. Hey, and think about this. He's got his own thing now. He's going to do really well. He's going to flourish, and we're really excited for him. So make sure to go check out his YouTube channel. All right, next question.
Next question kind of relates to XRP. Do you think the bull run blow off top, if we do see one, will be delayed since the XRP case is delayed once again?
What is that? I didn't heard that news. Did that happen today?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about it.
I don't know why someone said that,
but I don't think that's gonna be the determining factor necessarily one way or the other.
I do tend to believe that, actually. I do tend to think that is something that we are, look, let's look back at how this last year should have played out. This case was supposed to be over in September. It was not over in September. There's a lot of evidence that this was supposed to be over in September. Have y'all noticed? It's weird, isn't it? That since about the very beginning of November, we haven't heard a peep from this case. Not a peep. We had stories every single day. It's almost like somebody stepped in and something happened in the beginning of November, and we've not heard anything since. You look at Jed McHale's wallet, has not been selling since September. There are a lot of agreements in place. I'm telling you guys, this was supposed to happen, and it did not happen. There's a lot of big macro stuff that happens in the world, okay? I believe it was supposed to be over. When that ended, that should have been a catalyst to send everything up. Should have been ending, getting a catalyst up, then you get the ETF that got approved, another catalyst up. It did not happen. So I do tend to believe that we are not going to get an altcoin blow off top until this case is over. Brad Garlinghouse himself said he believes this will be over this month. Will it be over this month? I don't know. I'm not giving any more predictions for when I do believe it will be over, because I still think it was supposed to be over in September. I don't have an updated date or updated timeline. All I know is this will be a settlement. Brad Garlinghouse said this month. I don't know when it'll be over, but I do believe that until this happens, we're not going to get altcoin blow off. You have to remember, this is not just about XRP, okay? It's not just about XRP.
That's where I was going.
It's much larger than that. But when the XRP case is over, where were you going? I think we're still going different places. Where were you going?
I was just saying it's not solely about XRP. It won't be there's bigger macro factors at play here. They're going to maybe be tied together, but it's not, I don't think it's a singular, like if this case gets settled here or there, that determines everything. But I am looking at Jeremy Hogan, who's where this information came from, tweeted out a retweet from Eleanor.
They pushed it to February 28th.
Yeah, they pushed it out about a month.
Wow.
Due to the Omicron variant, according to what they said.
You can't make this stuff up.
No.
And somebody said Jed's wallet is actually back to selling, which once again, even if he is selling back in January, look, when did he not sell? September, October, November, December. that's when we should have gotten the blow off top and we didn't get it if the case would have ended in September. It's almost like there was an agreement not to sell for the rest of the year, and now that's over. So that does seem to still line up with what I'm telling you guys. So Jeremy Hogan says April. Okay. Well, I can reach back out to Jeremy and see if we can get him on. I've been in touch with Jeremy. He was going to come on the channel and suggest I have John Deaton on instead because he had some personal stuff going on. So I'll check back with him. But yeah, I mean, this thing will be settled in the right direction. So where is Frank in here?
Yes, he is.
Let's move on to charts. We're gonna have Frank come on and talk to you guys about charts. What's going on with Bitcoin? Frank's gonna be running our new trade channel. You guys may know Frank from Hit Network. Hey, Frank.
Hello.
Hey. We've let him out of the cage, and he is now doing TA for us. He's an expert. He won every single trade in the history of his life.
Wow, that's a lot.
We never lose
trades.
over here.
Yeah.
They did let me out of the cage, which is nice. I'm starting to stretch out a little bit.
Try to center up a little bit if you can. There you go. Perfect.
Boom.
And I'll play with the cameras.
All right. So let's jump in here. So we are going to start with Bitcoin on. Make sure I'm on the right chart. All right, so we're going to start here on the weekly, and I was feeling pretty hopeful on the weekly about a week or two ago. It did look like the VWAP was coming up on Market Cipher B, and it looked like it was going to come up, and we were going to print a nice tight trigger wave right here with a green dot, which is usually indicative of a lot of upside. So we kind of lost that hope a little bit. VWAP came down a little bit. Now it's moving sideways. So that's a little more indicative of a little more sideways or slightly bearish action. But hopefully we could see that VWAP start to curve up coming in the next week or so. Moving on to the daily, I know Ben was very excited about this. We printed a BitBoy green dot. That is what we call them. So we printed this is on the daily chart. So the higher the time frame, usually these green dots are a little more effective the higher you go in the time frames. So we have one thing I do want to say is I think a lot of people, they see a green dot and they're like, this is the bottom, this is the bottom. And then they bet the farm. And then unfortunately, sometimes it comes down a little more. So the green dots are usually indicative of a bottom. The longer the time frame you're on, usually the more reliable they are. But so you'll see we printed this green dot on the 7th of December, and we started moving sideways a little bit, trading in that range of 47K and about 51K. And then we actually fell out of this range here to come down a little more. But now we just printed another BitBoy green dot. This has got me feeling kind of bullish. I'm not going to lie. I did not think I would say that this soon, but I'm feeling slightly bullish. And we did also have a beautiful bounce off of this spider line at about 40K. So that looks really good to me. Hopefully we can work our way up here towards this range that we were previously trading in between 47 and 51. There is a spider line there, so we might see a little bit of resistance. But if we could break back up in there, start trading there, I'll start feeling pretty good. And then also where's my 2-day? To add to the bullishness, this 2-day, if you look on Market Cipher B, you have the VWAP coming up, about to cross the zero line. And that would be printing a BitBoy green dot on the 2-day, which would be very bullish. That would make me feel very good. Other than that, I just wanted to take a look at Atom here. Atom has been crushing it lately. I have made about 4 or 5 pretty decent trades on this recently. Let's see if I can get this. There you go. But for Atom, if you go to the daily time frame, we have some pretty bullish indicator here. We have the VWAP crossing up, which printed a green dot right there on the momentum wave. But on top of that, at almost the same exact time, we have the money flow coming up, about to cross the zero line. Also, usually a very, very bullish indicator. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. Hopefully get into some trades on Atom and continue to crush it. But other than that, ETH, I do think Bitcoin's going to outperform ETH, at least in the near future. So I kind of want to wait and see what Bitcoin does. But overall, guys, I mean, I'm feeling pretty bullish on this stuff. You know, just in the past couple days, things have been looking to turn around quite a bit. So we'll keep an eye on it. And, you know, if you guys, I'm going to be doing some tutorials on the trading channel about spider lines. If anybody is, you know, curious about how to draw those or, you know, what they mean. They're basically just support and resistance. But just keep an eye out for hit trading. We're going to start doing a lot of tutorials and BitBoy crypto trading.
Yeah. And they're saying here in the chat you need a nickname. Believe it or not, Frank probably has more nicknames than anybody here in the office. We call him Frankie the Shooter. Frankie Candles is his latest one. Frankie, you know, there's basically Frankie, anything you want to put in there that applies.
Put them in the chat. Let's see what you guys come up with.
Yeah.
But we're going with Frankie Candles right now.
Right.
I like that a lot.
And he's Frankie the Shooter on socials if you guys want to find him because he's shooting video and sniping trades.
That's right.
Thanks for coming on. We're going to look at a little more of the macro with some of this Glassnode stuff we were looking at this morning.
So usually we're going to have Frank on with a screen share, so he's going to be able to come up. I'm going to be able to talk too, but we had a problem with the computer today. It was updating. So we decided what better way to get somebody initiated and to throw them just into the fire in front of thousands of people and see how they do. So good job, Frank. Frank's TA, he does not only use Market Cipher, but obviously a lot of our audience uses Market Cipher, so we'll be talking about that a pretty good bit, but he's got a lot of other stuff as well. So excited to have Frank. He's going to do really great. He knows what he's talking about. Frankie Fibonacci, they call him. Frankie Fibonacci. I like that. I like that. So, guys, just real quick before we move on to the we have Glassnodes as its own section. So that's perfect. I didn't realize we did that. So, guys, this is the Bitcoin entity adjusted dormancy flow, and it's pretty interesting, okay? Entity adjusted dormancy flow is the ratio of the current market capitalization and the annualized dormancy value. Entity-adjusted dormancy flow can be used to time market lows and assess whether the bull market remains in relatively normal conditions. It helps confirm whether Bitcoin is in bullish or bearish primary trend. Metric was put out by David Puel. You may know him from the Puel multiple chart. But this is what we want to show you guys. So this was something that Will Clement posted on Twitter, and it basically shows the history of the bull runs and what was going on during these times. The black chart, obviously, or the black line is the actual Bitcoin price. And then this orange line is the elevated dormancy flow. And when you get in these boxes, it is indicative of bullish continuation. However, along with the bullish action, there is also the blue chart here. So this is a dormancy flow reset, occurs deep in bear accumulation. Now, what we'll see is every time we get to one of these, this is pretty much a bottom. These are wicks. This is when the price is wicking down. So you look back in 2015, you see this giant wick down here on the price. You see the dormancy resets. Over here, you had bullish, bullish, bullish. Top of the bull market, it drops. December of 2018, you had the hash rate wars between Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. This was the bottom for Bitcoin. And then you look up here and boom, you have, this was the mini bull run of 2019, if you will, resets. And then you have another upward action over here. This would have been during May of 2020. This would have been the pandemic when this hit. Now over here, here's what's interesting. For the first time ever, we have two resets without a period of bullish, bullish continuation here, as you can see. So what does this mean? Well, this means that we could be due for another massive run. If you look here, these have always been bottoms. We are down here in the bottom right now. And if you look here, what's really interesting when you actually look at this, let me show you guys something here that's pretty interesting.
One thing that I'm seeing there that's interesting is we're at the top of that range right now. So, like if you look there in the 2018-19 section or even, there you go. Yeah. You can see it goes to the bottom of that range. And right now we're just, these latest three are just kind of touching the top of it.
Yeah.
So doesn't necessarily mean we're at a bottom right this moment, but we're in that good accumulation range. We're traditionally over time, basically when these things have appeared the last 5 or 6 times, these are some of the best times for accumulating Bitcoin.
Right. When you look here, obviously this is a low, this is a higher low, this is a higher low. this has gone down a little bit lower, but basically, could easily be looked at as a double bottom. So, if you were looking at this from a charting perspective, even, could mean we're going to see like a massive run here pretty soon. And look, here's the facts. The facts are we've got to, and I told this to TJ this morning. Here's a fact. Since I've been in crypto, okay, this is the most unsure I've ever been about where crypto is going.
Mhm.
The most unsure. We could go down to $9,000. We could go up to $100,000. We could go up to $300,000. Probably the most unlikely of those scenarios, in my opinion. But we could. I don't have a lot of basis for where I feel like this thing is going right now. And when you look at charts like this, it seems bullish, but we can also do mental gymnastics to find ways that we feel like it is bearish or bullish. And right now, it seems like things are very bearish, which indicates we should have upward action coming at some point. But all you can do at this point is kind of look for clues. And the reason why we're so unsure right now is because of the larger macroeconomic factors.
Yep.
That's what we cannot, we can't get a grasp on what's actually happening in the larger economy right now. We're getting so many mixed signals at this moment. Now, before we move on to our top story, inflation today, make sure to do us a favor. Stop what you're doing. Hit the like button. Make sure to if you're watching on mobile, hit the X in the top right. Go out. Hit the like button. Come back in if you're watching on smart TV. Bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Hit 3 dots. More actions, more options. Hit react, and then like this video. Okay. Does this big favor. This number one thing you can do as a member of the BitSquad. Inflation reaches highest level since 1982 as consumer prices jumped 7% in 2021, which, year over year, we've been at 7% for, a few months now. So I don't know why this is shocking to anyone, right? I'm always shocked by the level of shock people are at these numbers. Anyone who actually has any understanding of what happens in the markets knows this is happening. So I don't know where all the shock is coming from. Inflation hit a fresh 39-year high in December as a drop in energy costs wasn't enough to offset a steady march upward for staples such as food, rent, and cars amid stubborn supply chain bottleneck and worker shortages. Consumer price index jumped 7% last year, the fastest pace since 1982, the Labor Department said Wednesday. That's up from 6.8% annually in November, which was also a nearly 4-decade high. Economists expect overall inflation to ease in coming months as gasoline and other energy prices continue to pull back and crude oil prices fall. But core inflation is expected to drift higher before edging down as the supply snags are ironed out. Buckle up, says economist Leslie Preston of TD Economics. After reaching new highs, core inflation is likely to get even higher in the first quarter of 2022 on a year-on-year basis. Now, I don't think that's actually possible. That doesn't really make sense to me.
Well, which part?
How it's going to get higher on a year over year, because the beginning of last year's were dramatically higher than the end of last year for month over month. Like at the beginning of the year, we had like 0.9%, 0.8%, 0.7%, 0.7% again. And at the end of the year, it was 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. So how is it going to be higher considering last month was only 0.4%? So how is it like month to month? That means the rate of the increase of inflation is slowing down. So how is it the beginning of this quarter, we're going to look at a higher year over year when this, I guess that would make sense because the year before that in the beginning of 2020, that makes sense. Because in the beginning of 2020, the inflation rate would have been very low. So that means the year over year from 2020 to 2021 would have been relatively low, but from 2021 to 2022, it's going to be dramatically higher. That does make sense, actually, now I'm thinking about it. So,
because the effects are starting to take place a lot in 2021, and we're going to experience it in 2022.
Right. So for the first quarter, why would it be the first quarter? Because the pandemic started in March, and we started feeling those numbers April and beyond.
Mhm.
So starting in April, we should. But this is all just a numbers game. It's all just playing with the numbers. It's
That's
so
what I
silly,
was
in my
about to
opinion.
say. Is
So
really
stupid.
it doesn't matter because they're going to change the metrics anyway based on
Yeah.
what they're going to change the assets that they're measuring. They're going to change the weighting on different things to keep it relatively in line with where they want it to be.
Yeah, I
So-
agree with that. Well, also one thing I always like to show you guys, by the way, is the dollar index. This is the 1-year dollar index. And I want you guys to notice that when we go to the 1 year here, I don't know why it automatically refreshes there. You go to the 1 year, you'll see that while our money has been inflating, the dollar has been getting stronger. The dollar has been getting stronger against world currencies over the last year. And at the beginning of the pandemic, inflation for inflation, other countries were having to print out of control too. But a lot of those countries who are having much more calm situations than the United States when it comes to a lot of these variants are not having to print at the level that we were having to print. So the fact that the dollar is getting stronger, like, look, guys, I've been telling you for a while, is very obvious, in my opinion, where this is going. Eventually, we are switching over to that deflation. This is all part of the plan. It may take another several months to get there, but we can't keep printing at the rate we're printing. The whole world, the whole United States economy is destroyed if they keep with the quantitative easing. And at some point, they have to stop it, or else we're going to totally lose everything. Like, you got it. The government at some point is going to have to weigh out short-term losses and destruction of the economy versus forever losing our power as the United States. Which one of those things you think they're gonna choose? So, because you got to remember, this is not about the people that are in office today. These are about the people that have been in office, the people that are not elected officials, right, that have actually been running this country for years, ever since probably the 20s. So, all right, IMF, International Monetary Fund, talking about people running the world, finally admits Bitcoin has evolved into an integral part of the digital asset revolution, but highlights new risk. The International Monetary Fund thinks Bitcoin and cryptos have come to the fore of financial markets. After years of downplaying the effects of Bitcoin and crypto, the International Monetary Fund concedes that the asset class is no more on the fringes. However, it warns of several potential pitfalls that could plague the wider markets. Our analysis suggests that crypto assets are no longer on the fringe of the financial system. Given their relatively high volatility and valuations, their increased co-movement could pose some risk, or could soon pose some risk to financial stability, especially in countries with widespread crypto adoption. So what do you think the angle is here for them? Why are they coming out with this?
I think they know, maybe they don't know because they can deny it as long as they could. Basically, I think maybe they've gotten their hands around it a little bit because obviously they've been very anti-crypto and Bitcoin with the stuff going on with El Salvador. They came out and tried to more or less say, if you do make it a legal tender, we're going to blackball you, more or less. We don't want to send you funds and money for your country. But they didn't back off immediately. And I think they're starting to realize maybe fighting it directly might start losing some of their edge. So if they can control it rather than fight it, that might be the approach they're taking. But, who knows the rationale behind the IMF? Generally, it's not necessarily something that's good for us and the world. It's usually something that's good for them and control.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this has to work in somehow for regulation. They're planning, some type of regulation. I mean, they run all the regulation across the world.
It could have to do with what we're going to get into a little bit later about that USDF stablecoin coming from central banks and like if they're going to green light actions like that, they might end up scooping up a lot of the Bitcoin and trying to use that as a reserve asset. Like, who knows? But they're setting the stage for something larger.
And this is why, like, look, here's this is stuff that drives me crazy right now. Aside from the contamination of markets, the IMF had previously warned that the use of cryptos can lead to a peculiar problem of cryptoization, causing liquidity risk and eventual economic destabilization. They're one of the loudest dissenting voices against the move of El Salvador using Bitcoin as legal tender. And this is why you have to understand, watch what they do and not what they say, because what they say is always going to pull you in different directions. But then what they're doing, the regulation, that's something to pay more attention to. IMF is urging people to get comfortable with Bitcoin and digital currencies so they can slap us with the massive cyber attack they've been working on. Maybe that might be it on any vamper. Could potentially be it. But I mean, it's kind of like, listening to experts. I just hate, let me tell you something I hate. I hate that in today's culture, especially because of the pandemic, this idea of listening to experts has become some kind of like polarizing thing to where we're all just supposed to accept what someone says because they're a supposed expert, right? Why do you think that when someone is a expert witness in a court case, that both sides are able to question that person? Because just because someone's an expert, that doesn't mean that everything that comes out of their mouth is the unequivocal truth. And people that accept that, you are the sheep. You should question everything that you hear. And when you're told that you're a villain for questioning, that's something you should question more than anything else.
Absolutely.
For sure. So you use your brains, people. Use your brains. All right.
Just get to that later.
Later. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. U.S. lawmaker hints at upcoming crypto legislation as Jerome Powell says Fed will release report on digital currency soon. The report really is ready to go, and I would expect we will drop it. I hate to say it again, in coming weeks. That's weird because it's almost like he himself is getting tired of delaying things. He himself, which makes sense because he's told what to say at all times. Powell said the Fed's report on digital currencies wasn't quite where we needed to get it, but would be released soon regardless. Fed chair cited changes in monetary policy as part of the reason for the delayed report, which is expected to address policy surrounding the possible rollout of a central bank digital currency in the United States. It's more going to be an exercise in asking questions and seeking input from the public rather than taking a lot of positions on various issues. Although we do take some positions. Well, that's new because the last report they put out on digital currencies, they did not take any positions. That was kind of the point, was we're putting all this information out here and we're not taking a position at this point. Why is that? Because they wait to be told what positions to take. The report really is ready to go, and I would expect we will drop it, I hate to say it, in coming weeks. It's unclear if the upcoming bill would be aimed at fixing the definition of broker in the infrastructure law, which took place November 2021, or another regulatory path to encourage innovation from the crypto industry. Of course, we did have this tweet from Tom Emmer, new digital currency legislation coming soon, with the eyeballs emoji, which is pretty funny, I thought. I didn't mean to actually click on it. If you highlight in the tweet, it opens.
I mean, it is interesting to me that today we've got a story from the IMF,
So much.
the Fed talking about crypto regulation, and a USDF, a new stable coin that's coming from the same people that do FDIC and a lot of the banks that are involved in that. So these are the financial cartel, as you will, the banks that are in the club in the traditional world. And we're starting to see a unified message coming out from them that seems to be very counter to what we've heard from them for the last, 6 or 8 years. So, it kind of comes back to that discussion we were having earlier about the Fed with, telegraphing their moves, and they're telling everybody, in March, we're definitely tapering. We're definitely going to rise the rates 3-4 times this year, which is putting markets in kind of a, that sideways action standstill, because markets like certainty, not uncertainty. So I'm curious at this point if the big bullish thing would be they come out in March and say, actually, we're going to delay this rate raises one more time. And that gives, we're going to keep printing for another 3, 4, 5 months. So it'll be interesting. March definitely will be a pivotal month, I feel like, for where all markets are going, not just crypto.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. Somebody said in the chat that George said that there was something that indicated that when you do, whenever tapering occurs, it takes actually 10 months for it to actually hit the market.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Put us towards the end of this year.
But what's so crazy is, how can that be when literally the Fed just talking about it crushes the markets? So I don't know. Is it definitely something to pay attention to here and try to figure out what's going to happen? But we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But I'm telling you, we can't keep going the way that we're going. It's not going to be possible. All they're going to do is, wreck the economy 100%. It's going to be wrecked one way or the other. It's just,
Correct.
Do you want it wrecked permanently? Or do you want to go through a period of a few years where you fix it? And it can be it can be fixed. So
that's the thing, is this is not a new problem. They've known this was an issue for a long time, and they
spent up the timeline several years.
They keep kicking the can down the road. They basically want the next person to deal with it. Like, oh, well, while I'm in office, we'll just print, everything will be great, everybody will love me. We'll let the next guy actually fix it. And it's
I don't buy into that, though. I don't think that's actually true, because the politicians are not actually running things.
You know what I mean?
Well, I do know what you mean. I think that's a common sentiment.
Point.
That's a talking point, But the actual people behind the scenes are the people that run everything. They don't care who's in office at any given moment, you know?
No, I agree with that.
So, I mean, yeah, of course, on an individual level, each politician wants to kick the can down the road on literally every single topic, on every single thing.
Right.
But the actual powers that be that actually control this country, when you look at, the unelected officials,
Correct.
they're the ones when you got a guy out there running this pandemic narrative, okay, who's made it through 5 presidents, that tells you everything you need to know. Any person that works closely with administrations that makes it through both a Republican and a Democratic president without getting fired, they are snake beyond snake. It's not because they're nice people.
Right.
So you got to understand, when people work for the government that long, they're part of what's wrong with it on the inside. The politicians, they're just the wallpaper. They're just the siding on the front of the building. It's really what's going on inside the building that's so disgusting, where a lot of trouble occurs.
Yeah, it's the CIA and NSA who all administrations rely on completely to get all their information that they make all decisions based on. And if you think there's issues with centralization and it causes corruption and problems, what do you think happens when you centralize intelligence?
Yeah, exactly.
Corruption and then major problems.
U.S. banks form group to offer USDF stablecoins. So this is really interesting. Founding members of the USDF consortium include New York Community Bank, First Bank, and Sterling National Bank. A group of U.S. banks, big shocker here, plan to offer its own stablecoin called USDF in a move to tackle concerns about the reserves behind non-bank issued equivalents. Comprising institutions backed by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, known as FDIC, they insure your money, one of the industry's key regulators, the group said the coin will address the consumer protection and regulatory concerns of non-bank issued stablecoins. We already talked about who the founding members are. They're looking for more financial institutions to join. While stablecoins play a role in the crypto ecosystem, they're pegged to assets such as fiat currencies. The concern is the opaque nature of some of the reserves that back up non-bank stablecoins, such as Tether. CoinDesk joined a court case earlier this month seeking to access documents from the New York Attorney General on Tether. USDF will be a bank-minted alternative to USDT and Circle's USDC, which is very interesting. Now, look, this is kind of what I see this as. What is, if you want to be the tallest building in town, I talk about this all the time. If you want to be the tallest building in town, what is the best way to do it? You tear down all the other buildings.
Come in like a wrecking ball.
Come in like a wrecking ball. If you can't beat them, join them. Okay? So, stablecoins are getting attacked. The banks get together. They say, oh, well, this is our entry. Because what happens when these banks, let's say they had a stablecoin that was one of the top 3 stablecoins. Let's say this USDF is what I think it's called, right? USDF.
Yep.
Let's say USDF becomes the number 3 stablecoin behind Tether and USDC. I think USDC is here to stay. Eventually, Tether might get taken out, which wouldn't be, nobody should be alarmed by that. You'll have time to move stuff over. The government's not going to screw everybody that owns Tether. But the point is, all of a sudden they have the number 3 stablecoin. What does that mean is occurring for these banks? They have crypto trading through the wazoo coming through. Okay. The banks and the old financial system, they understand that the only way to control crypto is different than anything else we've ever seen. The only way to control crypto is from the inside. You have to get in it. You have to own it. You have to have ownership of it. Yeah. They can't print more Bitcoin. They can't print more USDC. They're not in control of it. But they could print more USDF as they see fit. And this also opens up the banks to do the number one thing that banks love to do and make money from: money laundering. Imagine if the banks, who time after time after time have gotten fines for assisting in money laundering, they get a slap on the wrist. Person goes to jail and gets a slap on the wrist. Okay, time after time after time this has happened. Now, imagine if they're able to print their own grants from inside, and they're able to use the traditional bank Ponzi schemes of taking people's money in via deposits and then letting other people borrow that money out to create an internal derivatives market to where you can't possibly track down what backs what. Guys, think about what Tether is being attacked for. Tether is being attacked for supposedly not having reserves to back up the Tether, the USDT individual grants.
Banks
The
don't have it.
banks don't have the money to back your dollars in their account. Go ask your bank to withdraw $20,000 and see what happens. Go ask. So, once again, if you can't beat them, join them. Nobody knows the Ponzi better than the banks themselves, and they're going to certainly be first in line. So,
Yeah. It actually got me thinking. I was listening to, I think I mentioned to you, I started listening to Internet on Money again, which is interesting because it's a collection of talks from Andreas Antonopoulos. And it's interesting to hear him talk back in 2013 about the Bitcoin network, where it's going, how it fits into the ecosystem, all that sort of things. And and he's using comparisons, obviously, of the internet, right? Of the early days of the internet. And he said something in there that really got me thinking. He was talking about bloggers, right? And this was back in 2013. And he said, an Egyptian blogger has just as much of a right and a voice to publish on the internet as CNN does.
yeah.
And so it got me. And he was saying basically they're both equals when it comes to the TCP protocol. So what did the powers that be do to control the internet? They didn't try to control the protocol. They tried to control the intermediaries like the Google, the Facebook, and Amazon. If they could get control of those, you can largely control 90 to 95% of the retail facing internet. And I think it's very similar to this. If you can get control of the majority of supply, of the majority of the transactions, you don't have to stop the internet. But you can still silence certain parties. You can still shut down political unrest if you can control the reserve currency.
You can't control an individual forum,
Right.
but there's only like 74 people on that forum compared
Exactly.
to you control Facebook, and now you control the
Exactly.
majority of people in the world.
Which is what it looks like they're trying to do with this. It's
Exactly.
interesting.
Scary stuff. All right, here we go. Let's talk about Polygon here. It was pretty interesting. After a great rebound, Polygon's market cap has surpassed Shiba Inu on January 11th. Let's take a look at that updated Coinbase or Coin Market Cap number. We'll go actually back to Coin Market Cap for this. Coin Market Cap. Let's see. I just want to see where it is right now. Polygon coming in. It went down below it again. It's down by about $800 million. Polygon at number 14. Wow, this thing was not even in the top 100 a year ago. Absolutely phenomenal. But anyways, here we go. We got the story here. Matic is currently the 13th biggest currency with a market cap of 16.59 billion. Polygon rallied 16%. I think Shiba's up today now, which is what happened here. Polygon rallied roughly 16%. Speculators pounced on the altcoin dip. According to Whale State's data, I would say data. I don't know why I said data there. Plenty of investors bought millions of dollars worth of Matic token. Plonky 2, a recursive snark that's 100 times faster executing alternatives, fully compatible with Ethereum, was also released by Polygon. So now it's the arrival of the London hard fork on its mainnet, meaning that now EIP 1559 will be burning Matic. Wow, it's going to be live on January 18th. Wow.
Yeah.
That's super bullish for Polygon. Super bullish for Polygon. But we found this, which was pretty interesting, I thought, these are 4 crypto. This is from medium.com. GetBlock is the name of the publisher here. 4 crypto theses to watch in 2022. Cross-chain, ZK-powered systems, which we've been talking about this a little bit, serious NFTs, and non-Ethereum layer 1s. So cross-chain ecosystems, what are these? These are systems designed to offset the gap between heterogeneous distributed networks such as Polkadot and Cosmos. This basically means interoperable cross-chain systems. So anything that is in the world of trying to create interoperability, that would fall in that category. And we've said Cosmos, we believe, is one to watch out for. We believe it hasn't gotten its due yet to this very day, even though it hit a new all-time high. You got ZK power protocols. These are ZK proofs, represent the most advanced instruments to scale Ethereum without sacrificing its security and anonymity and decentralization. First-gen layer 2 scalability solutions, they reduce pressure on Ethereum. Polygon and EVM-compatible high-performance blockchain acquired Hermes, a next-gen ZK rollup. Immutable X, a project that supercharges marketplaces for non-fungible tokens. ZK Proofs made headlines by doing a record-breaking IDO. These include Polygon, Immutable X, and ZK Swap. This Immutable X has been everywhere lately.
It has.
I've been seeing that everywhere.
Me
We haven't
too.
really talked about it a lot, but
Yeah, it's one to watch for sure.
Yeah.
That was one I was looking at this morning about maybe scooping some of.
Yeah. Now, this is one we've talked about for a long time. This is the more serious application of NFTs. Collectibles is just phase one. Serious non-fungible tokens. What does this mean? They can serve as digital certificates of authenticity, so they can work for anything like real estate, intellectual property, luxurious cars. In the public sector, NFTs can be used as digital passports, certificates of graduation, vouchers for public services, and so on. Sooner or later, Ethereum addresses have all chances to replace IDs and passports as ID verification instruments. The mainstream adoption of NFTs will accelerate hand in hand with their process. And look at this. We don't know what this is yet. We don't have any projects. When you start seeing projects that come out in that niche, that could be the new hottest thing. Then, of course, layer one protocols outside of Ethereum: Solana, Avalanche, Terra, Fantom, Polygon, not really Tron, but Tron. But speaking of Fantom, we're going to move right into that.
Yep.
Here's the top 5 days of volume. I told you my favorite thing about Fantom, guys, is the name of all the projects are like spooky.
Everybody's talking about Spooky Swap lately.
Spooky Swap. Love Spooky. Spooky Swap and Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's.
That's a good one.
Yeah, there's like this trend on, there's this girl on TikTok. I don't know why. I have no idea why it is, but she does little dance videos, and every comment is about Trader Joe's. Like, oh, I was at Trader Joe's, and I don't get the joke, but I made the comment on one of her videos. I said, if you think Trader Joe's is cool, you should check out the Dex on, what Dex is it on? Avalanche. And it got so many likes and comments on there. I thought it was really funny. Like, people had no idea what I was talking about, of course. But anyway, so speaking of Spooky Swap, top 5 days of volume for Spooky Swap Dex entirely within the last week. While Fantom continues to grow, check out this No 4 Type C infographic showing how ex-Boo buybacks are exceeding the Boo emission rate. So they're buying back more of the tokens than they are printing right now. Pretty fascinating stuff. A lot of people are saying this. Here is the Spooky Swap overview. Now, this is not sponsored by any stretch of imagination. We've never talked to anybody from Spooky Swap, or I don't know, maybe Fantom. I'm not sure. But we just want to show you guys this because this is blowing up right now. It's in the category of DEX and AMM. This means automated market making. This is what allows decentralized protocols to actually be decentralized in exchanges. It's by a ticker BOO. It's on Fantom. The token standard is FRC20 as opposed to ERC20s for Ethereum, and the total supply is 13.66 million, which is pretty good. It's been audited by CertiK. Shows the different ones at the different wallets. It supports MetaMask, Token Pocket, Trust Wallet, Coinbase Wallet, Math Wallet, which I've never heard of, and Wallet Connect. Shows the token distribution, the swap. What is Spooky Swap? Here's a little overview. Well, that was supposed to be an overview until I messed that up. Dang it. Here we go. An automated market making for the Fantom, which Opera blockchain, which is the BOO token, is a governance token. Diverse farms, a built-in bridge, built-in limit orders. They have IFOs, which are initial farm offerings. This program will provide 4% of the max supply of tokens to boost stakers, developing more projects on Fantom through the monthly grant fund, equivalent to 2% of the max supply. And Spooky Swap Bridge is available to support lots of chains. So we're talking about interoperability, right? Well, the bridge goes to not only Fantom, but back to Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Polygon, and the OKX chain. OEC. I didn't know that existed. I mean, I know OKX existed, but
Yeah, that came out not that long ago.
yeah, I didn't know that. Then we have some partners. Alpha Finance Labs. I've definitely heard of them. Yearn Finance, Popsicle Finance. I wonder what that one goes with. Got to be Binance Smart Chain. It's a food coin, right? Oh, this actually says Finance. BV Finance, project we like. Here's Trader Joe's right there, blowing up Trader Joe's Dex. Fantom Oasis. Yeah, so there you go. There's a little bit about it. You can find out more by checking out their Twitter, their tweet they made there. And if you let me pull that up, I'll pull that up real quick.
I think there was an XRP story, right?
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
too?
we're not do that. Oh, it's supposed to be at Fantom and XRP.
I think. Well,
I
yeah.
missed that.
Well, I think it's different on your end. I had too many. They gave me too many topics. On
We had XRP gonna give it to you. Is the last one,
which is too long.
Here is MetaStrike. This is a project. This is a little sponsored.
Yeah, it was just a
section
quick mention. We just retweeted it if you wanted to pull it up. It's basically what it is, it's a NFT project they're going to be testing on their alpha version. They're going to be streaming that on their YouTube channel tomorrow. So just something interesting for you guys that are into these new games. You know, check it out. Maybe watch it. Should be interesting.
Yeah, make sure to grab your popcorn and your water with a bottle with a straw
There you go.
to enjoy the show. We've talked about MetaStrike a few times, kind of like Counter-Strike, but decentralized. Could be fun. By the way, my son spilled popcorn all over the floor at the movies last night. And the bad thing was we were the only people in the theater. So, but they don't give you a broom. What are you supposed to do? Last story of the day, XRP here. XRP can now be sent to human readable addresses. Here's how. XUMM, a non-custodial wallet by XRPL Labs, is a mainstream retail wallet for XRP token and assets issued on XRP Ledger Distributed Network. It just scored a partnership that will ease the process of money sending for XRPL users. XUMM integrates FIO standards. FIO integrates FIO. I know FIO. I talked to their people at, I think, Money 2020 or something like that a few years ago. It's basically a way to create easy addresses for sending stuff. According to the official joint announcement, they're going to be integrating with FIO Send, a core feature of the FIO protocol, to bring better usability. So pretty cool. Basically, the long and the short of it is they're going to be able to be created like this. Alice at website or Satoshi Nakamoto at XUMM. They're going to be easy addresses, kind of like email address to send. Good stuff. All right, guys, that's all we got for today. We went way over time today. But appreciate you guys watching. We're back in studio today, not going anywhere until our Texas meetup. Don't forget to check that out. Pin tweet on Twitter. If you live in Texas, want to come hang out, you're going to have the opportunity to do that. That's all I got. Be blessed. Go Dogs. Good boy out.